All right, guys, after shipping 1,000 packages to PSA over the past few years, I have figured out the fastest, best, and most cost-effective way to ship multiple cards to them. I'm going to show you everything you need, get it done. I'm going to give you a couple of tips. One of them is a trap that if you accidentally do this, there is a chance PSA could lose your card for like a month or two. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that and a couple other ones. And by the end of this, you'll be a pro. You'll be able to ship anything to them. For the purposes of this test, I've got us 10 1990 Fleer cards. Not the most valuable cards, so if I make a mistake, we're good. All right, let's run down through the other supplies that we need. Number one, probably most important, we got ourselves packing tape. Next up, we got a weighted scale. You can get this for 10 bucks on Amazon. This is crucial if you're going to be sending a ton of packages because you can weigh by the ounce. That's going to save you money. Padded, flat rate envelopes. These are free, okay? Post office usually keeps them behind the desk because people just raid them, but they're awesome because they're waterproof. They got the little bubble wrap to protect it. It's an outer layer that I'll show you. If you want to send something fast and priority, this is what you do. You can go to the post office and grab a bunch of these. You usually have to go to the counter and ask for them. If you can't get them, what I do is I go online. I think I ordered like 200 of these. They shipped them like within 2 days I had them. I stick them in the attic, pull them out when I need them. This is a 10 by 8 envelope. Just kind of your standard envelope. You can get these on bulk on Amazon for like $1 a piece. Notice how I wrote do not bend on this. That's going to be key. I'll talk about that later, but just one of these 10 by 8s. One of the reasons is it slips perfectly inside of this priority sleeve envelope. This is a number 0 poly bubble mailer. I like this because it can take a beating. It's waterproof. It's sealable, and it's only $1. You can get these in bulk at Staples or Amazon. Like I said, $1 a piece, sometimes even 50 cents a piece if they got a sale. Just buy like a couple hundred of these. They are solid. Scissors, obviously going to need these for the printouts that we're going to do. I think that's just about it though. Whoops, I lied. You're going to need a bag of elastics. Grab those for like $1 or $2. I mean, you'll get like a bag of 1,000, then you're good. This is what's going to hold the cards together. I'll show you in a minute. This is pretty easy. I've already got a video. You can check that out on how you can do all the submission and that entire process. So I'm going to assume you've already done that and you're ready to ship. So I've got these 10 cards, okay? First thing you want to do, elastic them up. Boom. All right, they're ready. They're not going anywhere. They actually kind of support themselves. You don't really even need cardboard in this case, but if you're going to throw a high-end card in there, I would cut up a little bit of cardboard and slip it onto this elastic. Again, these are blank. I'm not going to put my information on them, but obviously you've already printed these out, right? This adds kind of another layer. I usually wrap the card. This is going to be the forms you send to PSA, okay? You got that number 0 bubble mailer. Slip it in, seal it up. If the cards are cheap enough, to be honest, this is probably fine. If it's like $100 and it's automatically insured or something like that, there's nothing wrong with shipping it this way, but I add 2 more layers of protection. So we'll take this number 0, we'll slip it in this 10 by 8 mailer. Obviously it's got that right there. Boom, you seal it up. Now, depending on the value of the card, sometimes I slap just a regular ground advantage shipping label right here and ship it off like this. If you're going to step it up, you want it to get there a little faster. These padded envelopes that I told you can get at the post office for free, you can actually slip it right in. Fits in them perfectly, which is why I picked all these sizes. Again, this is really hard to bend. It's almost like trying to bend or rip a phone book. It's difficult. Your cards are going to be safe. I ship $5,000 to $10,000 cards like this all the time. I find it better than boxes because I've actually had a box crushed by UPS before. Like a truck literally ran over it and they just didn't pay out on insurance. So now I just go with the envelope route. I feel like it's more nimble and it's just an easier way to get things done and less, crushing risk. The other thing that's cool is that scale right here. You want to set the scale. All right. This is 5.7 ounces. So that's important because I'm going to show you a website that's going to save you a ton of money. You do not want to use the U.S. Postal Service's website to ship anything. It's not user-friendly. It's clunky. It's down half the time. You want to use Pirate Ship, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, I'm stopping this video for a second. There is one absolutely crucial thing you need to do before sending this package into PSA. I think it's typically page 3, but in that submission, you're going to get a barcode that's meant for the outside of your package. That barcode, you want to cut it out, use some packing tape, pop it onto the package, and write down the service level, value, express, whatever underneath it. If you do not include this barcode on the front of your package, PSA could lose it for like a month or 2. And then when you reach out to them, they're going to say, well, we told you to put the barcode on the front of the package. So make sure you do that. Tape it right on there, write the service level, and it's one less thing you have to worry about. All right, everyone. This might be the most important part of the process. Do not use the U.S. Postal Service website. It is down half the time. It's clunky. It's not user-friendly. It doesn't save your information. Instead, use pirateship.com. This has saved me a ton of money. They have access to the bulk rates, and that's going to save you at least 20 or 30% right off the bat. So we get to a menu here. I'm going to assume you've signed up and everything, and you just create your label. And what's great about this is you punch in the addresses, and it gives you choices on how you want to ship it. Now, for PSA, UPS is not a choice just because there's so much theft with the ground UPS that they've just said, nope, no more. So you really only have 2 options. Well, 3 if you want to walk it in. But number 1, yeah, walk it in. Number 2, U.S. Postal Service. And number 3, FedEx. So the address hasn't changed at all, thankfully, for the Postal Service for PSA. They have a massive P.O. box, and I can't even imagine how many packages that thing is full of. What you want to do here is enter in the CU receiving, P.O. Box 6180, Newport Beach, California, and then the zip code here. I've removed my ship from address, just obviously so you guys don't know where I live, but you can do that if that's an option when you're shipping to people. This is good to kind of stay anonymous, but if you're shipping to PSA, I'd recommend you include it. Type of packaging. So what we did in this video, we didn't use a box. Now, if we did the padded envelope, this is what you'd pick, and the rates would be locked. And if you did an envelope that's not U.S. Postal Service, like that poly bag or something like that, you just enter in, 10 by 8. How many pounds? There was no pounds. It was like, I don't know, I think it was 6 ounces. You can decide whether you want a signature. Here's a little hack for you guys. If you're sending to a business, it's already default signature confirmation, so just save yourself the $3. If it's to an individual, that's a different story. But so I'm not going to hit that. All right, here are the rates, at least from my neck of the woods. Okay, you can see everything here. You could do UPS, but again, that's not an option. You can do Ground Advantage, and you can do Priority, and then you can do Priority Express. Obviously, that's overnight. So we'll do the cheapest option. You literally buy the label and then you print it out. I do also want to mention that you can buy insurance here. The maximum for the Postal Service is $5,000. If you want to go beyond that, you have to use registered mail, and you cannot do that through pirate ship. You have to go to the counter. Then obviously the rates change, right? So now you've got $5,000 worth of insurance on Ground Advantage, and it's $45. Insurance is just pennies on the dollar, guys. Don't ever skimp on insurance. This is so cheap, and you just make sure that you get a check from the Postal Service. So you honestly fill that out, print that out, and boom, you're all set. That's really all you need to know. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Again, I've done this like 1,000 times, so I'm happy to answer any specific questions. Also, you might want to check out my other video. So this assumed you had already submitted the cards to PSA, done it correctly, printed out the labels. If you don't know how to do that, or you want a refresher, I've got a video on that that's pretty popular. Just a quick how-to. I think it's like a 7-minute video on how to actually submit your cards to PSA. Once you're done with that, then you can come back to this and ship them properly.